What is up, RotoGrinders? 2 hours nonstop NBA DFS conversation starts right now, taking you all the way up the lock, all the way up to 7 o'clock on the East Coast. Big boy slate tonight. FanDuel says let's include every game. We have all 9 on FanDuel. DK dropping the last one. This is the back half of the ESPN doubleheader. Lakers, Houston, not on the DraftKings slate. That is 9:30 on the East Coast. It's an hour after the previous latest game. So DK says, you know what, let's just go ahead and drop that one. First game, Golden State, Boston, is the first half of the ESPN doubleheader. The only game at 7 o'clock tonight. Some news lurking, some teams that are tanking, some teams that are surging. The Hawks, they've won 10 in a row. Myself, late swapped in. Shout out to my guy, Tasteful Tides, Tim Buell. This picture, I don't know if you can guess who was supposed to be on the show, Tim, but I did have a picture over my shoulder as an homage to my co-host. But I guess this kind of sort of works for you in some ways, I guess, maybe.
It doesn't bother me. It's all good. I mean, we only have, 6 NHL games. It's not too bad. It'd be tough for me to do crunch time. I can pretty much always fill in for GrindersLive. Crunch time's a little bit tougher, but GrindersLive, I can be available. I mean, who knows where Bobby is? I mean,
I don't know.
It's like it really could be he could be anywhere. He could be anywhere. He could be lost somewhere in the north end of Boston somewhere. Who knows? Maybe he's caught in traffic. I don't know.
I think he's in Florida, actually. I'm pretty sure he's on vacation. But
so he went on vacation. He forgot to tell the people that make the schedule. That sounds like the Bobby I know. That sounds more believable.
What I was saying, this works for you. I was pointing to the picture. I meant the Tatum picture, because you're kind of sort of somewhat. That's the closest basketball team for you as far as your I don't want to dox you or anything, but I want to give the people the actual location that I don't want to be knocking on your door. But I think Boston, they got to be the closest team to you, right? I would imagine so.
They are, yeah, they're definitely the closest. There's really nothing anywhere remotely near me. Boston is like 5 hours away from me, so that's the closest I got. I used to go to the Garden and Fenway like all the time when I was a kid.
Like same day?
Not same day, but I mean, we would make frequent trips, probably, 15, 20 times a year between the two.
Oh, that's pretty nice. Yeah, I've been to Fenway a couple times. It's a good experience. Went there for a Yankees Boston game. It was pretty fun. I got voted down, but I wanted to sit on top of the monster. My friends didn't want that. They said they wanted to sit like in the first baseline. How do you know? You got to sit in the monster, right?
I've never sat in the monster. I totally agree with you. I'd much rather be in the monster.
Yeah, I got voted down. But speaking of NHL, Tim, the Panthers, they snuck in the tankathon. They're in the 9 spot right now. Their pick is top 10 protected. We're rooting for the Panthers to lose. It's going to be a close one. About 15 games left to go in the NHL season. About 15 games left to go in the NBA season. Speaking of tanking, by the way, the Pacers, the Wizards, the Jazz, and the Grizzlies, and Brooklyn. All 5 of those teams are on the slate tonight, Tim. Indiana, Washington, Brooklyn, Utah, Memphis. I want you to guess what's their collective losing streak. Indiana, Washington, Brooklyn, Utah, Memphis. That's 5 teams collectively. How many games they lost in a row?
40.
More. It's a good guess,
though. Really? All right. So it's somewhere between 40 and 50, I'm guessing. Like 48.
Indiana's lost 13. Indiana's lost 14. Washington's lost 13. Brooklyn 4. Utah 3. Memphis 8. I think Utah might have beat Sacramento.
So 42. Okay.
Yeah, it's and then there's the Atlanta Hawks. The rare sighting on the NBA, a team that's actually trying to win. They've won 10 in a row. Now, granted, the competition has not been great, but Atlanta's won 10 in a row, and they're trying to get out of that 7 spot, or the Miami Heat Invitational. They're currently in the 8 spot. They want to jump into the 6. It's pretty close. You can get to the 5 theoretically. Toronto, Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, Philly is a 1-game difference, 5 through 9. So that's something to monitor as we close in on the end of the season. 1 week away from the start of baseball, by the way. I think there's a Wednesday game, and then Thursday afternoon. I'm not sure of the exact time, depending on as far as slates and all that kind of stuff and how DK and FanDuel breaks them down. But I did see in the schedule myself, Derek Carty, and Jesus Good. So yeah, there you go. That's a big
time. That's a big time show right there. I'll definitely be tuning into that. I'm so excited for baseball. Like I still enjoy grinding NBA. NBA is fun for me. I enjoy the news. I enjoy like constantly trying to like figure out rotations. But by this time, it does become pretty grueling, and I'm looking forward to a little bit of a move here to MLB.
I think we all are. I love the NBA too, but it's just this year more so than others. It's just been, I don't know if grading. I'm not sure what the right word is, but putting me to the test, because I'm always somebody that I'm always holding the flag, holding the water for the NBA. I'm always that guy. But it's been a tough season. Steve Kerr out there speaking truth. He's out there saying, "Listen, we all know we have to limit the games. There's too many games." But nobody wants to hear that because money is the thing. All right. Speaking of too many games, back half of a back-to-back, we have 4 teams in the back half of a back-to-back. That is the tanking Pacers. Minnesota. Minnesota is the theme of the show, the theme of the slate. We'll talk about that in a second. There's 8 games, 9 games on FanDuel, but really, Minnesota is the driving force. We're looking at 4. Every optimal on FanDuel, you're going to get 4 Minnesota players. And on DK, we're currently getting 5. Not just Ant being out, but Nas gave it a go last night. He got re-injured, so Nas is not going to play as well. And the combination platter are facing Utah, the Jazz. It is the old perfect storm. So Minnesota is projecting amazingly. Front end, Chicago, Clippers, Lakers. Again, Lakers just FanDuel. New Orleans and Utah. Clippers and New Orleans are playing back-to-back games in New Orleans. Just something to monitor there, I suppose, more so for tomorrow night. New Orleans is an interesting town to have like the night over. You can just kind of hang out. Kawhi is currently questionable. That's one of the big tags lurking over the slates as I have the new 5 o'clock injury report. Robert Williams is currently questionable. The Pacers have 8 guys questionable, just making a mockery of the league. Again, I said Kawhi is officially questionable. DeJounte Murray, he's back from the illness. Probably sits tomorrow because dealing with the Achilles, there's no reason to push him. But he's playing tonight. He's available. He's good to go. Colin Sexton, have not seen him in a bit. He's officially questionable. Ace Bailey's questionable for Utah. He has it takes an extra couple days, extra week or so to recover from the Utah flu. He's had that concussion for a while. We'll see if he's back from his concussion tonight. And again, Minnesota, really the big theme of the show. That's something we're going to be focusing on. We'll be talking about that as we progress. But for Houston, it's worth noting, again, this is just the FanDuel slate. Şengün is off the injury reports. He hasn't played in several games. He looks like he's good to go tonight against the Lakers. Did we say hello to chat? What's up, chat? Hit that like button. Do subscribe. Turn on those notifications. Yeah, hit all the buttons. Hit all the things. Notorious, as well as Beer. They're jumping on in an hour and change. If you look at the screen, you see it scrolling. We're giving away a week free of RG Premium. You don't have to tell me anything about movies or you don't watch TV. That's fine. It's a level playing field. We got the wheel. The wheel is the thing. Get in that Discord channel, RotoGrinders.com/Discord live stream chat channel, and just hit the wheel avatar. Steve HOF. It's in pink. You'll see it in the Discord channel. Just hit that button, that link, and your name will be thrown up on the wheel. Oh yeah, you can also get, if you want, you can get scores and odds because it's the madness. The madness is going down. Do you have the madness? Do you care about the madness? I still feel like it's.
I bet every single game.
How we doing?
1-1.
Wait,
1-1.
You're talking today, or has there been a game
overall? I split yesterday, so
okay.
1-1.
Yeah.
I'll bet every single tournament game.
I bet against Alabama. No, I bet against Auburn because I don't like the nepotism that happened there. So I bet against them, and then they didn't cover. So I was happy to see that. I think it was actually written up in scores and odds too. And Texas, we got it was a nail biter last night with Texas. We did lose God, I can't remember some other. I don't know. We're ahead by a little bit. We're doing okay. Have you filled out a bracket?
Oh yeah, I fill out a bracket for sure.
Who's winning it all?
I got Michigan.
Okay. Are they a 2 seed? I don't know.
I went Michigan. I believe they're a 1 seed.
They're a 1? Okay. I should know this.
Yeah.
I know I should know this.
No, but I mean, I totally Thursday and Friday, like I could completely I'm on the couch betting every game. Every game.
Saturday, Sunday too?
Yep.
That's
I'll bet every single tournament game. I'll bet them all.
Okay, so Auburn was an NIT game. I didn't realize.
I don't usually bet sports, but March Madness, I save it all up for March Madness. And I'll bet every game.
Fair enough. Did you bet the WBC last night? I guess not.
Well, I got this like secret chat message saying we're on Venezuela, but it was after the game started. So I mean, I don't want to be a part of that secret chat anymore.
You're in a secret chat?
Dean, you sent me the text. you sent me the text, but you waited till after the game started.
My bad. Sorry. Yeah, the number was too good. You gotta go where the what the math says. Yeah, we were Venezuelan fans last night. Shout out to Venezuela. Miguel Cabrera, he was not on the team. He was on the bench. He's the hitters coach, I think. Johan Santana, Ronald Acuna. All right, let's talk about the slate tonight. Again, the main course. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're really, really hard to avoid. I wrote in today's survey, Tim, it's like Thanos. That Minnesota, it's inevitable. They're going to land in your lineup today. That's a reference. I know the reference. I've never seen the movie. That's Avengers, I believe. I don't know if TJ's lurking or not, but there you go. It's a meme. I'm sure you've seen it before. All right. First game we're talking about, the only game at 7:00. It's Boston at home versus Golden State. 217.5 is the total. This is the first half of the ESPN doubleheader. Who's in? Who's out? Well, Boston is incredibly healthy. The only person missing that's of note is Vukovic. He's been out for a while, dealing with his finger. Everything's kind of adjusted as far as salaries. Golden State's Crier's questionable, doesn't really matter. All the Currys are out. Steph and Seth. Al Horford still has that strain, so he can't play. Moody hasn't played in a bit. He's out with that wrist. Quentin Post officially questionable with his foot. And GP3, the mitten, Gary Payton. No, it's GP2, right? Yeah, GP2. Gary Payton's probable. He's got a contusion. He's expected to play. This is to me, this is a bad appetizer. I don't see a heck of a lot to like in this game. You tell me, Tim. Are we excited? Are we enthused? I feel like this is one of those games where I wrote this in the survey today. If we have news like lurking over the slate, if there's like, oh, this thing can really it can really dramatically change things, and we don't know the answer at 7:00. Well, I don't think I need to play anybody in Golden State Boston. Just buy myself an extra half hour. But I'm curious how you feel about the Celtics and the Warriors.
This seems like a really bad appetizer. Definitely, really nobody sticking out to me that I have a whole lot of interest in playing. Ownership's going to reflect that, though. It doesn't seem like this game's going to be played at all. The Warriors have a really bad implied team total of just over 100 points, which is just absolutely awful. They don't seem to – there's absolutely no positive RG values for the Warriors. So, I mean, I think that they're a pretty clear and obvious cross-off, to be completely honest with you. The only person I want to talk about on Boston is Jason Tatum at 8,700. I think he's interesting. I mean, we're currently giving him a 22% opto rate. He's got a positive RG value, only showing, 18%. Not super chalky. It's going to be played at a decent clip. Seems like he's kind of back to normal, Dean. Got to play, low 30s minutes. He's got 50 plus upside. I know the matchup's not amazing, but he can definitely crush it at 8,700. So he's definitely a guy that I'd be getting exposure to. I think he's even 3 max viable. He probably won't be in my single entry, but he's close. We're going to be laughing at that price point here pretty soon. And, I think he could potentially win you a GPP.
Yeah, the only player that I would consider Rossi in this game is Jason Tatum. It's another national TV game to show the people, like, look, hey, I'm back on the ESPN. You're not going to get, an abundance of minutes. You're probably going to get 32 if this game is like standard, right? You're not going to get 35, I don't think. He's probably not going to get there. But also, he's not being charged for the 35 minutes. 8.4 on FanDuel. I like him more on FanDuel than on DK. 8.7 on DK playable. Again, it's not something I need. I don't make a ton of lineups. I'm probably just going to skip it. But if I play somebody, it would be Tatum. I got really nothing else. On Golden State, just no interest in any of the Warriors. Just unless somebody gets ruled out of importance. The players are all priced up. Podziemski is just like unplayable, basically. I mean, I don't want to say unplayable, but he's 8K on DK. Like, how does he pay that off? That seems basically impossible. But that's just an overreaction to his role of late. Yeah, no Warriors for me, and that sounds like where you're at as well.
Yeah, I think the Warriors are pretty easy cross off here.
I'm just taking a peek here at the Discord channel, and I see Measy7 says, Steve, where is the wheel? Just scroll up, Measy. It's not that far to see where it's at. You'll see Steve has a post at 5:07 p.m. It says Wheel Wednesday. There's a RotoGrinders avatar, and just hit the avatar, and then all of a sudden your name's going to pop up on the wheel, and we spin it later on. Giving away a week free of RG Premium. I think we give away 2 weeks. I want to say 2 weeks, 2 individual weeks. If we hit 100 likes, I think that's the threshold. And again, dealer's choice. If you want scores and odds, you can get scores and odds, player props, not just for college basketball, but all the sports. There's all sorts of content up there on scores and odds. You can get a week access to that as well. What is the worst appetizer, Tim? Well, I know you're a foodist. What would you say is the worst appetizer? Because you said like this game is a bad appetizer. Can I say spinach and artichoke dip?
I mean, it's not my favorite, but I don't think you could possibly say that that's the worst.
Derek says celery sticks. That's more of an accompaniment. That's more of like dressing, like a kind of like that comes with wings. Nobody actually orders celery sticks as an appetizer, right? Anything with hummus? Yeah, I'm not a hummus guy.
I mean, I actually like hummus, but it's not like I would never go to a restaurant and order hummus as an appetizer like that. I would not do that. You know what I think is an overrated like hors d'oeuvre appetizer?
What do you got?
Pigs in a blanket.
Oh, come on. Really? How do you mess that up?
Just saying, I don't think it's that great.
It's got a floor.
I think it's overused. It's overowned, Dean.
I would also say that pigs in the blanket is not like an appetizer. It's more of like something you see at a party than you see.
It's more of an hors d'oeuvre. More of an hors d'oeuvre is what you're saying.
You see somebody carrying a tray, or it's like on a tray at a party.
It's more of a thing. It's like a finger food hors d'oeuvre.
I don't. Do you know any restaurants that has pigs in a blanket as an appetizer? I don't know why. You just don't. You don't see it in that setting for some reason. Oh,
scallops wrapped in bacon though.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's expensive.
Yeah, it is expensive. Calamari is overrated. I see that in the chat. I do agree. I'm not a huge calamari guy.
Little chewy. Mr. Richard says poutine. Is poutine an appetizer? I thought that was just like a meal.
Around here, it's in Maine. It's more of an appetizer. Believe it.
Is it? Okay. I didn't know poutine was an appetizer. Well, it's big up north. It's not. I've never had it before. So. I've been to Canada a couple times. I dodged it because I think it has like sour cream or mayonnaise or yellow cheese in there, something I don't like. Isn't there something weird in there? What it's poutine, fried, yellow cheese?
It's gravy and then it's served with some kind of like cheese curds.
Yeah.
Usually.
It probably tastes better than it looks. I would hope so at least.
I think it's fantastic.
Toasted ravioli, the best app. That's like big in St. Louis. Like, is that in the toasted ravioli is like a big deal in the middle of the country? That's my understanding. All right. OKC's taking on the Nets. 213.5 is a total. If you thought 217.5 was too low for Boston and Golden State, Tim, have I got a game for you? Doesn't get much lower than 213.5. But Brooklyn's got a team total less than 98. OKC, monster favorites on the road in Brooklyn. They're 19-point favorites. They're just telling you that they're resting Lou Dort. They don't care. They're honest. Like, well, we don't need Lou Dort tonight. It is the back half of back-to-back. So Dort or Chambers not playing. Hartenstein's not playing. Chet Holmgren's questionable, which I think is kind of important. The really, really good Jalen Williams is out. The pretty good Jalen Williams would really be interesting to me if we lose Chet Holmgren, because then they would be down to 10. And I think there'd be a good chance that he would start for Chet, especially on FanDuel where he's 5'2". I think that's an awesome price. I think you can play him right now on FanDuel 5'2". But if we lose Chet, I think he's a really, really strong play. He's 6K flat on DK. I wish he was cheaper, more of like a tournament. Right now he's just hard to play math-wise, but you could also see him playing a fair bit of a blowout against Brooklyn. I think he's my favorite play in this game, somewhat dependent upon Chet sitting. And they gave Chet the Q tag. This game doesn't matter. I shouldn't say it doesn't. Well, they just don't need him. OKC's up 3 games on San Antonio in the Western Conference, despite losing 3 games to San Antonio, right? If San Antonio didn't exist, they'd be up like 6 on the field, or actually they'd be up. Yeah, so if you look at the standings in the Western Conference, the Thunder are 54-15, the Spurs are 51-18, and then the next team, the Lakers, who beat Houston last night, right? Didn't that what happened? No, I'm making that up. The Lakers play Houston tonight. But yeah, the Lakers are 10.5 back. So it's kind of a 2-team race, but it seems like the Thunder are likely to cruise in, and Brooklyn should not give them any trouble. As far as the Nets, speaking of the Nets, they're more than happy to oblige and take the L. They shut down Yeoman for the season. He's not playing. Ben Serif is out. Daron Sharp's done for the season. He's got a thumb. Trey Orr is available for what it's worth. And then PJ is out with they gave him an ankle. He can only play so many games with that ankle. They still have a bunch of dudes. If you look at like the available players, they still have a lot of guys. They don't play anybody like a lot of minutes. It's pretty unplayable. It's a bad matchup. And Tim, I said the Warriors are pretty unplayable. I think the Nets are just as unplayable. I think. Like, how do you play the Nets? Anybody in the Nets? I don't think so.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to be getting to anybody for the Nets here. Really, really bad spot. 18-point underdogs. I just don't see a case for them. I mean, it's just a horrible spot. There's going to be plenty of value on the slate. This is just not a team that I want to build into at all. I think OKC is somewhat interesting, especially if Chet were to miss. You already brought it up. But Jalen Williams, we have projected for 26 minutes. We have an if-then set up for him. If Chet were to miss, Jalen Williams would get up to, we'd have him projected for around 32 minutes. He would be an absolute smash on FanDuel, like absolute must-play over there. He's, like you said, he's pretty close to a play already on FanDuel, but he would become one of the top values on the entire slate, on the FanDuel slate. But 6K even on DK, he's fantastic if Chet were to miss. But if Chet plays here, AJ Mitchell, 5K.
Yeah.
I think he's solid. He's got a pretty good opto rate. I don't know if I necessarily love him maybe as much as projections do, but he's okay. I don't know if there's any other pieces of OKC that I would play if Chet were to play. I just don't see a reason to pay out for SGA. Some of these mid-tier guys, I'm not really going to be playing. And honestly, I wouldn't be playing Chet at 8,600 in this spot either. So if Chet plays, I guess it's just AJ Mitchell, but I think that's it. Is there any other OKC pieces that we'd be getting to if Chet were to miss? I'm trying to look at that if then.
I mean, you could always play SGA. It's just like, how much do they need him for? It's the back half of a back-to-back. Is he going to get a ceiling game? And probably not. He's probably not going to get a ceiling game. He's not going to be owned for all those reasons. I don't roster a ton of lineups. So you don't make a ton of lineups. I'm probably not getting there. If I was running 100 like some people do, or 150 like some people do, I'd probably have a taste just in case. But it's never really terrible to have. I'm stuck playing SGA. It's usually not a terrible idea, especially if nobody else is playing him. But I'm trying to figure out what I'm rooting for, because this slate, it's tough because when you build lineups tonight, your lineup comes preloaded with like 4 or 5 players. It's like, okay, I'm going to play that guy. Well, I guess I got to play. Okay, yeah, okay, I'll play him. It's like, how am I going to be different? And if Chet plays, I think Jalen Williams is a really interesting be different play. If Chet doesn't play, all of a sudden he becomes like somebody that's going to get rostered, especially on FanDuel where he's going to be just a nuke kind of play. I'm surprised that the ownership on AJ Mitchell right now at 33%. That's a huge number on DK. I kind of get it. The price is down and they're without some pieces. They have 12, the Thunder. And they could go down to 11 with Chet. A guy like Caruso wouldn't get pushed. You try to figure out like who would be left standing for a potential blowout. Sanford, maybe Barnheiser, McCain probably. Maybe Mitchell, but probably not. Probably Joe. Probably Williams has a better chance. So I'm not sure, but I'm just sort of kind of thinking like, what if Holmgren plays? Will I still consider playing Jalen Williams at 6K? And I want to play him. I don't like that tag. He's got to put up 35 plus, which he can. And I think he would do some garbage time stuff against this Brooklyn team, which by the way, 14 players projected for Brooklyn currently. I was just kind of looking at their roster. 14 players. Of those 14 players, Tim, let me see if my math is right. 10 of those 14 projected between 19 and 24 minutes. Like, what is that? What are we doing here?
Right.
Like, unplayable. It's all unplayable. It's all terrible. Just cross them out. Yeah. Anything else here as far as Thunder and Nets?
I think we're good.
Portland and Indiana. Oh God. Yeah. I don't know if you're what I've had it with the Pacers. If they're not gonna take it seriously being in the NBA, how are we supposed to take them seriously? This is the back half of a back-to-back. They had 10 people questionable yesterday. It might have been 11, might have been 9. It was a lot. They have that many today, basically. 231.5 is the total. Portland and Indiana. I don't know what to do. Do you want to know the players that are questionable? Is it going to be helpful? I imagine, for the most part, the guys that played yesterday aren't going to play today. We saw TJ McConnell start yesterday. Got a double-double. Didn't play a ton. I think he played 20-plus minutes. I assume he doesn't play today. Just kind of doing the math on that. He's one of the 10 guys that are questionable. Potter, I think, legitimately has like a somewhat of an injury. He didn't play yesterday. He's still questionable today. We know Pascal's not going to play. He might not play the rest of the season. I've been saying this. He's been doubtful. He's been out. They don't want to play him. They have the G League guys that who knows with the Talon and Slauson and Thompson. 1 could play, 3 can play, none can play. Somewhat important is Zubac. If for no other reason, if Zubac doesn't play, I'm thinking of separators potentially, Tim. And this isn't like the reason why I would or wouldn't, but I think Donovan Clingan's a guy that can have like a ceiling game that's just not going to be rostered today. His last game, it was the victim of a blowout and foul trouble. If you look at the box score stuff, but previous to that, he's been absolutely smashing and mauling. And Zubac is like a real live, like actual basketball player who can play like post defense. But if he's not playing, I know you get Jay Huff, who's a good blocker or whatever, but that significantly weakens the Pacers. And I think Clingan becomes a pretty interesting tournament play. As far as Portland, no Vit Krejci, no Shaedon Sharpe, and Robert Williams is officially questionable with his knee. You don't need him out, but it wouldn't hurt if Williams was out for Clingan. But I think that Williams is probably going to play, but I don't know. What are you going to give me on the Pacers? It's just there's 4 billion different combinations. It's like the lottery. How many different combinations of in and outs is there for the Pacers?
Yeah, I mean, I know, I'm not certainly not blaming anybody, but I mean, we don't have an if then for them because there's just too many scenarios. Like it's impossible to even kind of figure out. Yeah, it's a complete waste of time. Like I'm certainly not blaming anybody. I gotta wonder, is Jarris Walker going to be an okay play, depending on who's in or out here? I mean, he was still playing minutes like in the 30s here. It's a pretty good matchup. If we lose certain pieces here for Indiana, I think he would be a decent play. And I don't know if he would necessarily like project off the charts, which might keep his ownership down. So I would consider maybe Jarris Walker in large field stuff. If Zubac misses, can we play J Huff at 5,900? Do you think, Dean? I mean,
I don't think so.
Who else do they have? So you don't think so? I mean, they don't really have any bigs.
Huff played yesterday. He played 22 minutes. They also have Jackson, right? No, not Jackson. Jackson's gone.
Yeah, it would. I mean,
Jackson, yeah.
if you
Potter.
think Micah Potter's really hurt, and let's say they just sit Zubac, who else? I mean, they don't really have any bigs.
Which is, for me, more of an argument for just play Donovan Clingan. He's gonna destroy this team. I just don't trust that they're gonna be like, oh no, we don't have a big out there. Like Walker could play a small ball 5. They don't care, right? I think the Pacers just want to get through with the season, and I just don't think they would play Huff like more than 30 minutes or something like that. Zubac, I think doesn't play, but I don't know that. I think there's a chance he plays the first half and doesn't play the second half. This is the third game in 4 nights. Zubac has played the last 2, right? He played the 15th, he played the 17th, 24 minutes, 26 minutes. They're still losing, so that's fine. And the Blazers aren't great. It's possible, if this game is close, he can just go bye. We've seen more so than any other team, the Pacers kick their players just out of the game at halftime, especially those that are coming back from injuries. Third and 4 nights in the back half of a back-to-back for a team that's tanking. For a player they traded for, they wouldn't let him play for the first month because they gave him a fake injury. Like, I don't think he plays tonight, but maybe he does. Which, again, I really think Clingan is just going to absolutely smash here for Portland. Denny's really solid, too. He's got to pay for him. But in theory, Denny Avdia is also a good play. He's
only 800 more than Clingan.
Yeah, I know. But Clingan just feels like a double-double, especially if Zubac doesn't play. And he has those games where he has like 6 or 7 stocks. You never really know when that's going to happen. But and I just don't think he's going to get played. Just kind of the way the slate is being, if you look at the context. I'm looking for somebody that could just be a separator. And Clingan's the kind of guy that can put up 50, 55. And it is weird to see, like you're right. Like earlier in the season, Clingan was like in the 5s. You remember this? He's all up to 8K, and I think it's justified. But I am kind of in a holding pattern, waiting for that news for the Pacers. The Pacers aren't going to give us that until probably an hour from now or so, maybe a half hour, maybe crunch time will have it.
I was going to say that's going to be like, I was on Crunch Time last night with Will, and they kind of did the same thing. They were a 7:30 game as well, and I think they gave us the news at like 6:40 or something like that, or it's going to be like right in the middle of crunch time. So that's a super important one, I think, to follow for the next show.
Hoosier Saying Banner says Drew's wife is from Indy, so friend's family game for holiday. Yeah, didn't he marry a soccer player, right? I think she had like a brain cancer or something like that. Am I getting this correct? Somebody confirm that.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm only getting half information in my head for some reason. That's what I feel like. Wait, somebody says Mia Hamm. That's not Mia Hamm was married to Nomar Garcia Parra.
Nomar.
Yeah. I don't know if they still are. I don't keep up with these things, but at least once upon a time. All right, let's talk about the Jazz. Let's move on to a more exciting team. The Utah Jazz and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota monster favorites here. 12, 13-point favorites versus Utah. 229.5 is the total. Utah, we kind of sort of know like who's in and who's out, with the exception of one player. You never know. Some shenanigans can happen, but John Concher officially probable. Lauri Markkanen, did they officially shut him down? He's still on the injury report. Is out. He ain't playing right the rest of the season. He's got a hip. He can't play. George is still out that hamstring, but Ace Bailey had the concussion protocol. We've not seen him for a few games. Maybe he plays. Maybe he doesn't. The one guy that they love playing is Cody Williams. He's immune to the tank, or maybe he's like the tank commander. He's just not good enough. They don't care. Just let him go out there and play 35 minutes or so. Minnesota, we talked about at the top. No Edwards. He's out with a knee. Nas also is out. Got that ankle. We're going to see a congested rotation, I would imagine. DiVincenzo, DeSumo, McDaniels, Randall, Gobert Revenge. We saw Bones Highland have a big day yesterday. I saw you mention Bones yesterday. Shout out to you for
I'm so mad about that. I was just gonna bring that up. I mean, I mentioned Bones like almost in passing when he really should have been like away.
To be
Like
different.
I should have pressed that a little bit harder because he was such a good GPP play, and now it's going to be a little bit different because a lot of people are going to chase that, and he's going to be, I would imagine, significantly more chalky. I mean, he's still a good play. We'll talk about it, but
Yeah.
man, that was such an opportunity last night that I feel like I kind of missed.
Yeah. Some of the prices have adjusted a little bit to the news and the sites, with Ant being out, they've known this for a couple of days, but just not enough, right? As far as the prices being adjusted. And most popular play on the slate is going to be, if not Bones, probably Io DeSumo. DeSumo is still 5K on DK, just seems too cheap, and Bones Highland 4.2 on DK. We're currently seeing both those guys as being more than half the lineups it'll land on. Your first two of the first players are throwing in your cash games as well. As far as big spends, Julius Randle probably the slate's best big spend from like a cash game perspective. Slow-mo, Kyle Anderson, another sneaky revenge game for you. The Big Ragu. I couldn't think of his nickname yesterday. The Big Ragu, of course, Dante DiVincenzo. I believe Chop was trying to say he was Irish, which I did not. Like a Chop
I mean,
fact.
it's a Chop fact. I mean, we don't really know what Chop knows, and that's okay. We know he doesn't like Mad Men, though. I mean, I don't think Chop's ever been more clear about anything.
Yeah. It's on the list for me, Tim. It's on the list. You're not the first person to say that we should be watching Mad Men. And I do like that John Hamm. I'm a fan of John Hamm, and I think that's his best vehicle. Supposedly, he's supposedly spectacular.
It's definitely. I mean, he'll never have a better role than that. There's no debate in my mind.
Unrelated to Mia, I believe. I just a coincidence. Two Hams were dropped out of nowhere in the show within a span of 2 minutes or so. I'm assuming relation. I feel like we would have heard about that if it happened. Let's see. Gobert is 6.5 on FanDuel, which seems like a really, really good price. He's probably your cash game center. I say probably, but you can also get the Joker, and Joker is playing Memphis, which is just hilarious. Like he's just going to do everything against this. We'll get there. It's a really interesting sticking point in the slate. I'm curious if you have a take on that as far as how you handle Joker, because he's matchup proof, but like he's going to get the nice bump versus the Grizzlies and whatever nonsense they're rolling out there these days. Utah, can you power rank? Not Utah. You want to talk about Utah first? Got to knock him out. It's Cody Williams or nobody, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I was just about to say. Like, I really, there really isn't much to rank for Utah. I mean, it's really just Cody Williams if you want to take shots. Because we're going to be getting so much Minnesota exposure. If you want to run it back with one single piece of Utah, I don't mind it if you take a shot on Cody Williams because we know he has a ceiling. They seem like they are okay playing him with some kind of normalcy. So I'm fine with Cody Williams. But if you wanted to completely exclude Utah from your pool, I really wouldn't blame you.
Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily need a run back here with all the Minnesota stuff, but he would be the best run back. I think that's pretty clear. But I need you to power rank Minnesota. How much Minnesota is too much Minnesota? I think at least 2. Like you're going to organically get at least 2. At least 2 if you're hand building. Can you get the 5 is kind of the question. Do you cut it off at 4? Have you figured that out yet? You're still kind of debating.
I think you're min 3. You're doing min 3 Minnesota.
Yeah.
I'd probably cap it at 4. Probably. On FanDuel where it's a little bit different, like you're probably going to be playing 4 because that's the cap on FanDuel, and it's really easy to do over there. But I think on DK you should make a rule that you're getting min 3, max 4. I don't think I would necessarily do 5, but it's close. This is obviously the premium team. Like this is the team that we're going to be building in the most tonight. I mean, that's clear and obvious. I thought Randall was going to bust last night. Like he started off real bad. He eventually got there. Rudy Gobert on DK was like a really, really good play. I played him over on DK. The rest of my team didn't quite pan out, but Rudy Gobert, I got him at 5% in the $100 single entry, but he just, the rest of my team just wasn't great. So I did not have a good night, but yeah,
Same,
I mean, it's
well.
Yeah. So, I think you beat me by
Porzingis slate. I'm getting him welcome. Was yesterday Porzingis revenge? Was that yesterday? Are we making that up with Washington?
Yeah, I think it was yesterday.
I was dead early. I didn't have Porzingis, and I was like, oh, what am I doing? How did I not play Porzingis?
I thought I was super dead. I mean, my team made a charge because I had Gobert. But yeah, it didn't quite pan out. But I think if I'm ranking Minnesota, it's tough. I mean, I think Susumo is number 1, Randall 2, Bones 3, Slow-Mo 4, DiVincenzo 5. McDaniels is going to continue, I think, to be the odd man out when it comes to ownership. I think he's a fantastic GPP play. We saw him go for close to 40 fantasy points last night. We have projected for 13% right now. I don't expect he's going to get steamed either. So just don't forget about him when you're making builds. Like, he's a really, really interesting way of getting contrarian on DK. I think on FanDuel he might be a little bit more popular, but on DK he's not going to be popular at all. Like, on FanDuel is going to be like 28%. He's currently popping in a lot more optimals over on FanDuel, but DraftKings McDaniels is going to be fairly contrarian.
Just pulling up how Utah is as far as steals and blocks. I knew, So McDaniels, how he gets there, his optimal game is, getting up there in stocks. Utah gives up the most blocks and like the 6th most steals, not surprising. They also give up the most threes. McDaniels is classic 3 and D, stocks and triples. That's how he has his optimal games. So, I think it's a really good play. And it's, if we're looking at the ownership stuff, and on FanDuel, you can only pay 4, right? I'm doing optimals. Bones, Dosunmu, Randall, the top 3 plays. The first 3 are basically hitting the threshold of my optimal. Slow-Mo, Kyle Anderson is hitting half my lineups. But you got to kind of scroll down. Gobert, 24%. McDaniels, 15%. DiVincenzo, 13%. So, like, if you play McDaniels and DiVincenzo is a way to be a little bit sneakier. I don't know, sneaky, just different. It's the same deal on DK. Bones is hitting 80%. Dosunmu, Randall, Anderson, 43%. DiVincenzo, 22%, right? McDaniels, 11%. Gobert, 10%. So if you're just telling me that that's a way to be different, a little bit different with Minnesota, is just to, lean more on McDaniels and Gobert and the big Ragu, I'm fine with that. I understand. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to play the other guys, but just to, I'm going to have, like you said, I'm probably going to have 3. And like I said, at least 2. Yeah, it's going to be at least 3. It's more of a question.
I would go at least 3. I would make that a rule, min 3.
By the way, Golden State news is coming in. Quentin Post officially available. Peyton officially available, which to me makes the Warriors officially unplayable.
That pretty much solidifies it for me that they're an exclude.
Anything else here as far as Minnesota and Utah?
No.
Next game up, Clippers, Pels. This is the first half of a double-double. They're playing it, running it back tomorrow night in Smoothie King? Is it still called the Smoothie King Center? I think so. Clippers.
I hope so. I hope it is. I don't know if it is or not, but that's a great name. We should just keep that forever.
It's a great name, but like nothing says second-rate, NBA team quite like we play in the Smoothie King Center.
I mean, I like smoothies.
I'm not besmirching. That's probably not. They're not spending as much as other companies are spending. 236.5. That's the total. It's a big boy total. It's high and it's tight. New Orleans is a slight favorite. 1.5 point favorite. Big deal is that Kawhi is officially questionable. This is an 8:00 game. When will we know this? I don't know. Probably some point into the slate. That's why, in part, I think you can just kind of throw out 7:00 if you want to. Okay, let's run it down as far as who's actually in, who's actually available. I just flew right past them. Yeah, New Orleans, DeJounte Murray is officially available. He's good to go with his he had the fish. He's good to go tonight, probably not tomorrow. Kawhi is questionable with his ankle. Batum is questionable for rest. He probably doesn't play both. Garland is officially good to go with his toe. Mathurin is out for the next several games, they said. He's also got a toe. Toe epidemic here on this Clippers team. But, yeah, how are we handling the Clippers, the Pels, and the possibility of Kawhi not playing? Because then that would open up the door for, I guess, a ceiling game from Garland.
Yeah, we have an if-then set up for if Kawhi and Batum were to sit. It wouldn't be tremendously big increases in terms of value, but it would boost up guys like Garland, John Collins for sure, especially on FanDuel, where he's 5'7". So a better price for him over on FanDuel. So definitely consider John Collins, at least on FanDuel, but even on DK. So guys like Derek Jones Jr., Chris Dunn, Jordan Miller, all would get a small boost. I don't think that they're necessarily like slate breaking boosts, but they're definitely guys that you can start adding into your player pool. I don't know if anybody, like if I necessarily like need to leave a light on for any of these players, like in single entry, other than maybe John Collins on FanDuel. But I think that would really be it. I mean, I do like Jordan Miller, but again, I don't think he ends up becoming like an absolute smash.
This is the same time as Utah and Minnesota, so like maybe you can kind of like if you're looking for a game to pivot with, you're gonna have plenty of players available if you need to adjust the news, because you're gonna have the Minnesota game at 8:00 and a couple games afterwards. So there will be some flexibility. And frankly, the games we talked about so far outside of Minnesota played at the same time. We don't like a heck of a lot. So you're not a lot of players are locked in by the time we're getting Clippers and New Orleans news. Kawhi is a good play if he plays, but we're not sure. We'll see. Stay tuned. Awesome year for him. He's been very, very good. Kawhi Leonard, not necessarily afraid of New Orleans, but it's kind of a wait and see. And Murray's also been great. The price is baked up now, but I think he's still playable. I don't know if I'm getting there, but I think he's at least in the pool for tournaments. We're only going to get one spin of the wheel, it appears, according to producer Steve. Again, if you guys are showing up late, if you're not looking at the screen, just listening to our voices, you see the scroll. Today is Wednesday, so we're spinning the wheel. We're going to get your names on the wheel. Well, you get the Discord channel, RotoGrinders.com/Discord, the live stream chat channel. All you got to do is hit that the avatar button. I think Steve posted it at, I want to say 5:07. Scroll up in the Discord channel and just hit the avatar. He'll throw your name on the wheel. And don't wait for the last second, because a certain cutoff at some point, he's got to stop taking names. And, we got to build the wheel out. So, yeah, get it on that. Knock that out. Hit the like button, because if we get 100 likes, we spin the wheel twice. You get a free week of premium, or dealer's choice. You can get yourself some scores and odds. Get some winners. Hopefully, for the madness, which is starting soon. Anything else as far as Clippers, Pels?
Dogs are going nuts. Nope, I think we're good.
Is there, how many are in the room? You said plural. Is there two? Is there three? I know you have several.
Well, there was two. There's two in the room, but they've exited now. But we actually got 5 in the house right now. 4 of ours, and then we're dog sitting 1.
That's amazing. What a fun house that must be.
It is. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. All right. We got to get. Let's talk about Toronto and Chicago. 235 and a half is the total. Yeah. Don Yeezy's asking, where's Roscoe? Where's the cat? Is Roscoe lurking?
Roscoe hasn't been on a show for a while. I mean, he's still lurking. He's still around, but he has not joined us for a while.
We need for baseball season, if nothing else, we're going to need Roscoe's Rockets, and we got to find Roscoe at least in the next week or so. Raptors, Bulls, 235 and a half is the total. The Toronto Blue Jays. Now I'm thinking of baseball. The Raptors are 7-point favorites at Chicago. Let's see. CMB, Murray Boyles, officially doubtful. Chicago, we've not seen Sexton for a while. He's questionable. Anthony Simons, not seen him for a bit. He's out with a fracture of some sort. And Jaden Ivey's been out too. They traded for both those guys, right? they finally decided to trade. The Bulls hadn't made a trade for like 19 years. And and trade for two guys to get hurt instantly. Also, they should be trying to lose. But besides that, great job, Chicago. Yeah. How are we feeling about the Raptors and the Bulls? They're also like running Josh Giddey into the ground. He's been amazing. He's been awesome. You got to pay for it. He's basically 10K tonight. How are you feeling about Chicago and the Raptors?
What a great GPP play Josh Giddey is tonight. I mean, nobody's going to play him. He's got 60 plus in him, right? I mean, we have him projected for 35 minutes. He could conceivably play more than that.
Sure, why not?
He's projecting for 5% ownership. Like, I think he's solid. I think if you want to take shots on him, assuming we don't get like a whole bunch of weird injury news here that like changes the landscape of the slate. Like, I think Giddey's completely fine. This is a pretty good game environment. The Bulls have a 115 team total, which is kind of it's comparable to some of the other totals on the board here. So, I mean, I don't really mind Giddey. I don't think he's going to get steamed really in terms of ownership. Other players I'm considering are on the Toronto side. Jakob Poeltl at 6,300. I think he's a pretty decent play. I think that's a decent price point. Again, a pretty good game environment, so I don't mind him. I'm not really a Brandon Ingram guy, but for 8,300 here, he's the only player in this game with the positive RG value. So I think he's an okay play. Likely not going to make my 3-max pool, but if you wanted to get pieces of him in large field, I don't hate it. RJ Barrett is okay as well, but really I think it's Jakob Poeltl and Josh Giddey. We have an if-then setup if Colin Sexton were to miss this game, and it's not really giving us a whole heck of a lot in terms
Dillingham, maybe, but not really.
Yeah, it's not hard. Really. Yeah, there isn't really anybody that is really sticking out that would be get a huge benefit if Sexton were to miss.
I did think it was interesting to see. You mentioned Poeltl. He played 36 minutes last game, which frankly, Toronto played really, really tight against Detroit. Ingram played 39. Yeah, that was not overtime, right? No, not overtime. Ingram played 39. Barrett played 39. Barnes played 38. Poeltl 36. Quickly 34. So they just were really, really tight that game. I don't know. Are they going to continue doing that going forward? They are jockeying, right? For they're trying to stave off the Heat and the Hawks, the Sixers. I talked about how close the difference between 5 and 9 is in the Eastern Conference. You got to imagine they really want to stay in that top 6, but also you got to stay healthy. It is, I think it's an island game, right? They didn't play yesterday. It is an island game for Toronto, so there's a chance we get, heavy minutes out of the Raptors. And I do agree, Giddey. I don't understand why they're playing him so much because does Chicago understand how playoffs work and how you acquire better players? Has anybody sat them down and explained the rules to them and how the draft and ping pong balls? And nobody's ever told them. Maybe I'm not sure, but they are running Giddey into the ground.
I'm getting to a ton of Jakob Poeltl in Sims right now. Not compared to the Minnesota guys or Jokic.
Yeah.
But after you get out of those really, really chalky players, you're getting to guys like Jakob Poeltl. He's simming out really strong right now. So definitely somebody to keep in mind tonight, I think, really in all formats outside of cash games.
And again, we're giving him 31 minutes, and I'm not saying he's going to play 35, but I think there's a chance. I think there's a chance he plays, 34, 33. And we're assuming CMB is not going to play. He's officially doubtful. Just he's going to be somewhat owned, right? I'm seeing 15, 20%. Is that what we last saw? Yeah, about 21%.
Yeah.
And you think he's a positive play despite that ownership? He's got a better than 21% chance to be on the optimal. You like him?
I do, yeah. I think he. We have him at 15% opto right now, but I just, we only have him projected at 15% ownership. So, and I'm getting to him in the sims that I ran right before the show. I'm getting to a little over 20%. So, Sims do like him. I think he's a great play.
One more game, Steve. One more game. We knock out the wheel. Does that work for you? One more game. We'll knock out the wheel. We have crunch time coming about 15 minutes or so. Did get some news. Conchar officially in, as is Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey's available for Utah. Cryer is out, but I don't think that matters. He's out for Golden State, but they still have plenty of dudes. Okay, let's knock out this last game. And again, get in the Discord channel. Last chance to get your name on the wheel to win yourself week free of RG Premium. And we may be giving away 2 weeks, depending on if you hit the like button enough or not. Okay. Denver, Memphis, 246.5 is the total. Denver's a 15-point favorite at the Grizz. Yeah, man. Talked about Joker looking spectacular. Aaron Gordon's out of this game for hamstring management. Peyton Watson still out. They say soon, probably back in a week or so. So keep an eye on Peyton Watson. This is DFS. We care about today and today only. Today he's not playing. You got to figure one of Jamal Murray or Joker. I just crushes this Grizzlies team. It's just horrendous. Maychak is officially questionable with his ankle. All the usuals are still out for Memphis. As of right now, I mean, this stuff is going to change. It's just you don't know like which G League guys aren't going to play, and they're monitoring how many games they have left and all that kind of stuff. But as of right now, we have like 13 guys available listening for Memphis. So yeah, and this stuff again very well might change. How you feeling about Denver and Memphis? I think a pretty big decision point is, do I just want to take the best play on the slate, Joker, and get my 70 points or whatever it is, 65? He's just going to destroy this team, right?
Yeah, I mean, right now, I think we're just playing Jokic. I mean, they have a 130-point implied team total.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, and it's, there's obviously blowout concern, but it is I think it's a 13.5 spread. It's not completely out of control. Hopefully Memphis can perhaps keep this game within that number, and Jokic can get his full allotment of minutes. And if he can, he's going to absolutely crush. Right now, I have him everywhere. He's going to be a 3 out of 3 play for me in 3 max. Absolutely going to be in my single entry team. So I mean, I'm just going to eat that chalk. He's a fantastic RG value right now, a positive 9.27 RG value, which is just fantastic. So I don't really see the case to fade him. I mean, he could conceivably get you his 70 points in 3.5 quarters. So even if this game is a blowout, it really doesn't matter. I think you're just going to be eating this chalk.
We've seen him get those first half triple doubles. So he might get one of those first half triple doubles. He's
and Lord King Guru says in YouTube chat, like maybe Memphis can keep it closer because Denver D's isn't good. And like Alexander the Don, Jokic and Cash, Jokic and Cash, definitely. So I think there's so many cases to be playing him and to make sure that you're overweight him in GPPs.
I mean, is there anything you want to say for Memphis now? Like for me, it's just too many guys, and
too many guys. I've taken a couple shots on Ty Jerome, and man, he's been close to really like crushing that $6,700 price tag, and he only plays 24 minutes. But I mean, he can easily get over 40 fantasy points. He just really can't get anything higher than that. He would be the only guy I'd consider because we know he's going to play his minutes and we know he's going to produce. He just really lacks like a really, really big slate breaking ceiling.
You got to pay almost $7,000 and you're not going to get more than 25 minutes. That's the counterpoint.
I know.
I know. 24, 24, 24, 24, 25. That's his last 5 games. That's what his minutes are. That's it. It just, they monitor this like very closely in Memphis. I'm not saying you can't play him, but I have a hard time doing it for that reason. Okay, let's bring on producer Steve. Let's go ahead. Let's spin the wheel. Let's give away some premium. Let's give away some scores and odds. I'm guessing we only are at 1. Steve will let me know otherwise, but I see. What do we got, Steve?
We're only at 68 likes.
That's unfortunate. Well, we tried. Bart Simpson give.
All right.
This is some interesting wheel spinning music.
Wow, who chose this music? I mean, I don't know about this.
It's not your vibe. It's not your vibe.
It might even be better just to sit here in silence.
Oh, Mr. Richard, nice.
Wow, Mr. Richard.
I thought we got rid of the rigging. I thought we de-rigged it. Is it no longer rigged? I thought the people are going to be upset. Mr. Richards, always in the chat commenting, great supporter of the show, and I appreciate when the great supporters of the show.
Mr. Richards also lives in Maine. So
I
definitely did not.
What's the chances of that?
He watches the dogs when you got to go away on vacation. This is
I'll have to ask him.
I'm trying to hold out, but we only jumped up to 78. Only went up 10.
All right. So I guess you're going to contact in Discord if you want to get some scores and odds, by all means, or if you want, a week free of RG Premium, all the sports, all the bells, all the whistles, everything except in NASCAR. Get it. All right. We have 2 games left. One on DK. Atlanta taking on Dallas. This is a 238.5 total. It is high, fairly tight. Atlanta's an 8-point favorite here. Dallas is a team that wants to lose, but they haven't been like egregious with tanking. They mostly clean, mostly straight up. They've been losing organically. As far as who's in and who's out in this game, well, Musa Ceese's officially questionable. G League stuff. Gafford's officially questionable. One of their bigs. Lively, we know, is out. Brandon Williams is out with a concussion. Atlanta, Kuminga's questionable with his knee. Otherwise, they are fully healthy. This was kind of my route. I was thinking of Giddey, but I think Jalen Johnson. Atlanta's a team, like, you can't put a value on a team that's actually trying to win, Tim. Like, there's only so many teams that are just trying to win. They're beating up on a lot of bad teams to Atlanta. This could be the 11th win in a row for the Hawks, the hottest team in basketball. Back-to-back games where Jalen Johnson has, triple-doubled. He's got the triple-double on layaway most any other nights. I don't know what the rankings is as far as triple-doubles for the season, but I'd imagine he's in the top 10 or so. Nothing about Dallas is concerning. They don't have good wing defense inside. They give up more points in the paint than anybody else in all of basketball, so there's no rim protector. Jalen Johnson plays 35.2 minutes per game. One of the biggest minutes player in all basketball. I believe this is an island game as well for the Hawks. Did not play yesterday, yet not playing tomorrow. He's kind of my big spend, we spend a little bit more away from Julius Randle, that kind of thing. Spend a little bit less than Joker. He's one of my favorite plays in tournaments. If he's only going to come in at 15% or so, has that changed? That's what it was earlier today. 15, 20%.
As of 5:30, he was still 15%.
Yeah, I think he's an interesting guy. And then Dallas, you have runbacks. If you want to play flag, you can play flag. And we saw, Najee Marshall, he really got up for his revenge game last time. He was pretty spectacular. I think they're still meeting that bone at 6K. I would pair him with one of those two in theory. You don't have to, but if I'm trying to make a little mini game stack, Flag and Marshall. Flag, you're not going to probably get maximum minutes. You're probably going to get 32. And that's basically it. Robert Williams officially in. Thank you for that, Derek. Yeah, I did see that, but I did not verbalize it. How you feel about Atlanta and Dallas?
Yeah, definitely a team that we can get to in GPPs. I do agree with you that Jalen Johnson is a pretty interesting squeeze candidate where people are most likely going to be paying up for Jokic or going a little bit lower to guys like Randall. So I think Jalen Johnson is super interesting. I don't mind the play. Can he kind of hang with Jokic though? I don't think so. There's obviously an $1,800 price gap, so that matters. But I think he's okay for GPPs. I think he's okay if you maybe put him in one of 3 max. But honestly, I think I'm just going to be getting all Jokic, so I don't even know if I can really jam in both of them. Let me see if I lock in Jalen Johnson, lock in Jokic to see what I get.
You get 4 players from Minnesota.
You're getting 3. You're getting 3 from Minnesota, which isn't horrible.
Can I tell you the 3?
Well, yeah. I mean, I know
it's got to be Highland, Anderson, Dosunmu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not great though. The
Does it
rest
fall
of the
off?
pieces are pretty ugly.
Is
So it
Who's
looks
the
to
ugliest
me.
name?
What's that?
Who's the ugliest name as far as the rest of the pieces?
Um,
Again, the first one you see.
Robert Williams.
Yeah.
Jordan.
be
I mean,
okay.
Jordan Miller's in the team too. I mean, if you knew Kawhi was gonna miss,
Yeah.
maybe that would be okay. But I'm just really not crazy about this team. As I locked it in to lineup HQ. I don't really like that. So personally, I think I'm just going to be staying with the Jokic side as of right now. But there could be some news that breaks that maybe we are more comfortably able to lock in Jalen Johnson and Jokic.
Several people in chat are asking about Nembhard for Dallas. They're like,
I was going to bring him up. I think he's an interesting value piece.
Williams.
Yeah, there's no Williams. Nembhard was pretty popular a couple days ago, and he did bust. But he played 25 minutes. He's going to be playing minutes here in the mid-20s. I don't mind him. I think he's a decent pivot off of maybe guys like a Jordan Miller, like an AJ Mitchell. Some of these guys that maybe we're going to be getting exposure to. So, I mean, I don't mind it. I really don't mind getting to some exposure of him.
But doesn't he kind of have to beat, like he's a point guard, doesn't he kind of have to beat Bones and Dosunmu and those guys, sort of? Or not necessarily?
I would be pivoting off of Bones or Dosunmu to play him, but I maybe would consider pivoting off of AJ Mitchell.
Okay, yeah.
I wouldn't pivot off the Minnesota chalk to play him, but you save yourself $1,600 off of AJ Mitchell. I think that might be an interesting way of maybe getting different and paying up somewhere else.
I do want to acknowledge the Lakers in Houston that is on the FanDuel slate. Before we do that, I want to tell the people about PickLabs. PickLabs, the newest RotoGrinders feature, lets you scan the best player prop and pick 'em bets in just seconds. Everything is broken down for you in just seconds, from edges to win rates to value. You look at a clean board. You'll see a clean board. It's going to show you the plays that stand out across not just sports books, underdog, prize picks, whatever streets you happen to be in. This tool is going to work for you. You see something you like, that PickLabs is going to go ahead and build that slip, send it straight to the book of your choice. Producer Steve showing it off there on the screen. PickLabs, rotogrinders.com/PickLabs. You can even just look at the expert plays. That's another way to go. As far as percentages, this is most likely to hit. Let's see. The experts today wrote up. That's a Jerome play, a Senzabal play. I can't see if it's overs or unders, but those are some of the names that are on people's radar. Claxton, I hope that's an under, but maybe the number's low enough that it's an over. I'm not sure. I can't quite read it. But again, check this out. It's an amazing tool for if you're player props, sportsbook, underdog, prize picks, rotogrinders.com/PickLabs. Also should mention NASCAR. NASCAR's in full swing. Projections for the season. They are live. The 2026 season, they're live. RotoDoc, Stevie T, PFL, they gotcha. Articles, videos from RotoGrinders breaking down each and every race. The Lineup HQ optimizer tool. It's going to come preloaded with player projections, ownership projections for trucks, NOAPS, and the Cup Series. Additionally, you get access to Stevie's betting picks as well as an exclusive access to the NASCAR channel in the RotoGrinders Discord. That's the one you got to pay for. All right. Let's just acknowledge on FanDuel, if you have the salary, another pivot is just to play Luka. That guy's pretty good. Lakers in Houston, 222.5 is the total of the back half of the ESPN doubleheader. Houston's a 2-point favorite. And this is a meaningful game. 3-4. They're 3-4 right now currently in the West. The Lakers have won 9 of their last 10. The Rockets have been sputtering a little bit, lost to 5 of their last 10. Houston's 2 games, 1.5 game behind the Lakers. They want to grab this one. Şengün is off the injury reports. Otherwise, Maxi Kleber, the only player hurt for the Lakers, so they're clean. And Houston, as clean as they're going to be, right? Yeah, Steven Adams ain't walking through that door, not with a uniform on at least. Neither is FVV. Tate is still out. That's been the case for a long time. But yeah, we have 2 healthy teams. This is FanDuel only. Tim, have we figured out a route of maybe considering a Luka play? Şengün coming back from injury. This game's going to get mostly ignored, I imagine, on FanDuel. What do you think?
This game's going to go really, really low owned, I would imagine, on FanDuel. And of course, this is kind of a decision point because it's only a $300 difference between Jokic and Luka, and so it's definitely we don't have that decision to be had on DK. I still think the better play is Jokic, but you're going to get Luka at significantly lower ownership. I mean, it's not even going to be close. Like Luka's projected at like 3%. So if you want to take shots on him here, I think it's okay. But this game, I don't think is great. Like you said, they're fully healthy. I'm not getting to any Houston here. I think you could maybe take some shots on Marcus Smart, like if you really needed some value, because he's so cheap, and he gives you that shooting guard, small forward flexibility as well. So I think 4,200 for him is okay, but that's really it. I mean, that he's not like a staple piece or anything. He's just somebody I think you could take shots on. Maybe Amen Thompson, but I don't love it. This game is mostly a stay away.
One thing you will get is a lot of minutes. We're giving 38 to Amen, 37 to KD. Houston, like they play really, really tight rotations. And again, this game matters. ESPN need a little extra, breathing time between whistles, between commercials. Island game as well. So I think the Rockets are going to play a ton of minutes. Seeing in chat, by the way, we should get crunch time coming here in any second here. Seeing in chat that apparently Derek is saying the weekend NASCAR race should be amazing. I just gave it a quick Google. It is the Sport Clips Haircuts 200. That doesn't sound like the Daytona 500 to me. I can use the Sport Clips, but
what's the track? Maybe
I don't know.
Derek can answer that in chat.
Oh,
Derek,
Darlington. I think it's Darlington.
Okay,
I've heard that one. Darlington Speedway in South Kakalaki.
Yeah, Darlington.
I think you dabble, right? You dabble in the.
I play NASCAR most weeks.
Yeah. How's the season gone for you so far?
I am positive. I made a 1v1 swap that cost me the win in the 121. I would have won 5K. Instead, I won like $300. I made the 1v1 swap like right at the last second.
Derek says more HP, less downforce. I don't know the slang. What's HP? More
horsepower.
HP.
Horsepower. I'm just gonna. Maybe. I don't know.
That's too fancy of a shortened word for me. But yeah, I should have done that. I should have figured that out there on the fly. I need plums. Who is your plum play before we get to crunch time?
Jakob Poeltl is my plums play of the day. He's going to be more popular on FanDuel at 5,800, but I think he's a great play on both sites, and I don't think he's going to be super popular in DK. So I'm going to go Jakob Poeltl.
Can I say Donovan Clingan if Zubac doesn't play? Can I add a qualifier?
I don't know, Dean. It's your show. I think that's kind of a sleazy. It's kind of a sleazy move, but it's your show, so
that's fair. Yeah. I mean, what do you want from me? Sometimes I don't even give a plum, but I just felt like I feel like Klingen's a really interesting play, and like not that you can't play him if Zubac plays, of course you can still play him. And I would kind of wish that Williams isn't playing. He's lurking, but he should still basically get his 30 minutes or so. Hoosier saying Banner says Zubac should play. Well, this is his third game in 4 nights. I don't know. Maybe he only plays a half. All right, let's do it. Let's see. Must transition. We have the Notorious one as well as Beermakersfan, from the 6-pack. It's crunch time. They're here right now. Just got news that Sexton is in for Chicago. Sexton in, Okoro out. Was Okoro on the injury report? Did I just miss that one? But Okoro is out. Adjust everything. Beer, Noto, what's up, boys?
How we doing? Another night of NBA. Getting that much closer to baseball. That's what I'm counting down, Dean. Baseball's almost here.
Next Thursday, I said it before earlier in the show. Next Thursday, I saw on the schedule. I don't think I have an official time just yet because they're not really sure how there's daytime stuff. There's daytime baseball, but I did see I'm on the schedule with Derek Carty and Cheese is Good, Dave Potts. So that was exciting to see. So yeah, soon we're talking some baseball. There is a game Wednesday night. Is that the Giants and the Yankees for some reason opening up the baseball season? I think that's happening Wednesday night.
I believe
I think
so.
it's I think it's just by itself. I could be wrong, but I think it's just one game on Wednesday. But yeah, looking forward to the baseball season for sure. Crossover season's hitting. I should say, I guess I'll say it right now. You know, when there's basketball and baseball going on, and it's kind of tricky as far as figuring out the programming of the shows. I think we're just gonna ditch basketball. We're gonna do basketball content on the site. I think we're gonna focus on the next 6 months in baseball as far as the show. Like we'll acknowledge, like, hey, look, so and so just got ruled out. We'll let you know. I know you're probably playing both sports. But I think that's the plan. I'm pretty sure that's the plan. We're gonna be talking baseball like the 2 hours up to lock or 1.5 hours, whatever it may be, talking to baseball. But just a heads up, the last 2 weeks of the basketball season, and it's all waiting for the news the last half hour also. We're probably just ditching basketball content. That seems to be the plan right now. Spoiler alerts. No, I'm sure you're very upset that you might not have to talk about basketball in a couple weeks.
You know, I actually like coming on the show talking basketball because then I don't have to update the core plays article. I just, tell people to come here instead to listen to my final takes. And I'm going to have to be, doing double time on the core plays article and breaking down some baseball. But yeah, excited for it to start. Excited for March Madness tomorrow. And tonight's going to be fine. It'll be fine.
You got a tournament winner, Noto? Have you figured it out just yet?
I mean, it's just a guess on my part. I went with Arizona. The other members of my family went Arkansas, Florida, and Iowa State. So
I just got a message from Bobby, by the way. He was flying. He was so Bobby was supposed to be on the show earlier. And so yeah, that's why we didn't see Bobby. There you go. He's just now realizing he should have been on the show. Maybe he's watching the show. If Bobby's in chat, what's up, Bobby? I hope your flight went well. But did you give a winner for us yesterday? I don't recall, Beer. I know we talked about it. Did you give us the people a winner as far as the tournament?
Have not. Still in the lab, Dean. So it's probably finished tonight. Or I love to procrastinate. So sometimes I'm the guy on Thursday morning that's still finalizing things. So we'll see.
All right. And Tim said Michigan actually are on the show. He gave Michigan. So
I like that call.
I'm going Michigan.
They're a hell of a team. So
let's just keep in mind that I put absolutely zero research into it. So
no lab at all.
We said the other day, that's who wins the pools, right? The people, the secretary that picks the colors or things like that. You can do as much work as you want. This thing is, who knows what's going to happen.
And I got this young upstart team out of Orlando-based, the UCF Knights. That's who's going to take it down for sure. UCLA, we're coming for you. All right, that was Tim. I was Dean. You got 35 minutes. You got more news coming. Brace yourself. Pacers news is coming. Get excited. How many of the 19 players are going to play tonight? We shall see. There's your tease. That was Tim. I was Dean. Hit that like button. Don't go anywhere because crunch time starts right now.
All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Crunch Time. Myself and Beard are going to be here all the way up until lock, and we will answer any questions that you have. So you can start firing those up in the live stream chat channel in the RG Discord, or you can fire them up on YouTube. We'll probably have enough time to get to all of them. But before we do, what's up, my dude? How we doing?
Doing well, man. A lot on the sports calendar right now. We just said baseball's coming up. I love March Madness. NBA, we're still out here grinding, as ugly as it may be, and even some football talk. NFL draft right around the corner. So I'm doing well. A little Wednesday night. Chat looks like they're fired up. So let's rock. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, doing good. I kept thinking today was Thursday, so still have another extra day until the weekend. But yeah, doing good. We got some golf starting tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. And I kind of like tonight's NBA slate. I just want to stack Minnesota and then fill out around some pieces around it. So what are your overall takes on the slate? Anything you're seeing or liking?
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota for sure. Just so much usage to go around without Edwards. So that one jumps off the page. A lot of big spreads tonight, which we always talk about. Got OKC, Boston, Portland, Minnesota, Denver, all double-digit favorites. So, blowouts are a concern. A lot of injuries as we're used to. Some of these teams rolling out skeleton crews. So I do think there's a lot of options tonight. There's definitely going to be chalk, but I think there's some plays that are going overlooked that we'll hit on.
It's always a good slate when Slow-Mo is back in our lives.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
we'll talk about him. Yeah, all right, let's go ahead and get into it. We start on DraftKings. We go through position by position, and then we will finish with FanDuel and answer some questions. So let's start over on DK. Who do you like at the point guard position?
I think two guys are going to dominate ownership here. The first one, Bones Highland, obviously playing a much bigger role. He's going to be up there, 50-ish% owned or higher. I think it should be higher than that, honestly. At this price, this matchup, I think he's probably your top value play, especially in your cash games. You want to lock him in to open up some salary. So he stands out, and the other guy that'll have some ownership is AJ Mitchell. Now, I'm not as high on him. Now, this could factor in. Obviously, we just mentioned it's an 18.5-point spread. How much does Shea really have to do tonight? This could be a night Mitchell gets a little extra run. So he's appealing in that sense. I still think Highland, the better value play out of the two if I'm choosing. But those two guys are the highlights. There's plenty of plays, though, especially if you want to spend up. We'll get to that in a second. But one more value play that's pretty interesting tonight, Ryan Nembhard. For Dallas, 3,600. The production's a roller coaster, no doubt, but that's what you get under 4K. He should see much more additional run tonight without Williams in the lineup. So I'll throw him in the value camp, and he shouldn't be as highly owned as some of those other guys. Maybe not as safe, not going to project as well, but I think he belongs in that category. But there's some guys in the mid-range I really like. CJ McCollum tonight, a little more appealing on FanDuel, a little cheaper over there, but still in play. DeJounte Murray at 7,500, not a great matchup here with the Clippers, but starting to ramp him up a little bit, and he feels underpriced. He's probably an $8,500 player when all is said and done, so you're getting a nice discount on him at 7,500. Jamal Murray, if Memphis can somehow find a way to keep that game close, really like him at 9K. Cooper Flagg at 89 against Atlanta. Atlanta red hot right now, but I think Dallas can hang in this game. And then Drew Holiday, a guy that I've been playing a ton lately, don't think he sees a ton of ownership. So, loaded up as we always are. Point guard is one of those positions. There's just a ton of options. So if you want to avoid the chalk, the value, I would play Bones Highland, and I'm playing him in a lot of my lineups, but plenty of other ways that you can go if you want to avoid that ownership.
Yeah, great breakdown. Agree with everything that you said. A couple other plays I just wanted to highlight for tournaments. You have Josh Giddey at less than 5% ownership. This dude has been on a tear, 60+ in 4 straight games. I know it's a matchup against Toronto, but man, I'm certainly happy to play him in tournaments. DiVincenzo, he's been terrible, but he's the way to get different if you want to play. If you want to play the Wolves tonight, I think, you can play the chalk and then put him in there and it'll be different right off the bat. I'm going to play Bones Highland, like you mentioned. I like the AJ Mitchell call. And then Darius Garland, I want to keep the light on for him just in case Kawhi ends up being out. He's been solid the last couple weeks, 46, 43, 36, and 40 fantasy points in his last 4 games. Then if you take Kawhi out in a nice matchup against the Pelicans, I think he could be interesting at 7-9. And I like Jamal Murray, Cooper Flagg. I think Murray's a nice pivot off of Jokic, and then Flagg just solid matchup. Let's move over to shooting guard. Who do you like over there?
A lot of carryover here. We just mentioned a ton of point guards that we like. A lot of these guys have that dual positional flexibility. So I'm trying to get as many of those guys in the lineup. Shooting guard not as strong. You obviously have Desanmu. Projecting extremely well. He's the one, if I'm worried about Highland or Desanmu, he's the one I worry about a little bit more. Still very playable, but going to be super highly owned. So both of those guys are going to be north of 50%. Again, anything not named Highland or Desanmu, you're going to get a nice discount on. So we'll start on the high end this time. I really like Brandon Ingram in the spot against Chicago. Toronto really popping in a lot of the models, whether it's Ingram, we'll get to Jakob Poeltl eventually, even RJ Barrett. Just such a good spot for them tonight against Chicago. So any of those guys are in play for sure. Jordan Miller, if Kawhi is out, it sees a pretty big bump. And at 4,300, he'd be vastly underpriced without Kawhi. So keep him on your radar if we get that news tonight. Walter Clayton for Memphis, under 5K. Really like him tonight. How about this Cody Williams
Yeah.
from your Jazz, man? This guy has been playing some serious minutes, 36 more minutes in 6 straight games. Saw that massive game out of him last time out. Well, I'm not expecting that. Those minutes are very encouraging, and somebody's got to do something there for the Utah Jazz. So the price is up a little bit on him, but I think he's interesting as well. Shooting guard, small forward eligible. Trey Jones, we gave the other night, was good to us. Don't mind going back to that, even pairing him with Giddey or some Toronto stuff. So, but I'm trying to get as many of these point guards in at an ugly shooting guard spot tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad you brought up Cody Williams. He's a guy that, man, the minutes have been there. The usage has been pretty solid, 30% usage and 27% usage the last 2 games. They're obviously missing a bunch of players. And if we get the ceiling games from all of our Minnesota guys, we need Utah to play pretty well in this game, keep it within 10. So I think Cody Williams is easily my favorite play from Utah. And then, like you mentioned, Desanmu, Highland, they're the good chalk up top. Ingram's probably my favorite play from Toronto, but I always have such a hard time picking between him, Quickly, Barrett, and
it's tough.
Barnes. So
You throw some darts. So I want exposure to all of them, so I try to spread it out evenly. Ingram's probably my favorite of the group, but certainly have some Barrett. Not as much Quickly, but same logic applies. It's the Bulls, higher total game, so they're all in play.
Yeah, and I only build one lineup, so it's really hard. I usually just avoid it completely and don't have to give myself a headache. Shout out to the chat for bringing up the Najee Marshall revenge game on the show the other night. Put up 54 against the Pelicans, so he could be interesting too. If you don't want to play Cooper Flag, good matchup against Atlanta. And that's pretty much it for me. Do you like Jaylen Brown at all? I'm having such a tough time clicking his name with Tatum back, but he's been pretty solid even with Tatum in the lineup.
I have a lot of Tatum and not much Jaylen Brown, and that concerns me. I mean, Tatum's price is just so attractive right now. So he's the one I'm leaning in on, but Brown, we know, can get it done when he's out with Tatum. So I think he could go overlooked here. It seems like people are going to skip that range, but they want to get all this value. Let's get Jokic in. Let's get Jalen Johnson in. Let's get Luka in. So there could be some guys under-owned in that range, and he certainly is going to be part of that group.
Yep, I agree. All right, let's move over to small forward.
All right, so again, Desanmu can fit here at 5K, going to be super highly owned, and then it kind of levels off. So you can stick with Minnesota. I think Jaden McDaniels in a decent bounce back spot. Disappointed a little bit the other night, but don't mind going back to him. We mentioned Giddey. We mentioned Trey Jones. We got to mention Buzelis, who's been playing incredible. And yes, it's Toronto, but just seeing a ton of shots, ton of usage right now. So certainly like him tonight. We mentioned if Kawhi is out, there's some value there with Derek Jones, some of the other plays on the Clippers. So keep an eye on that situation. Talk to me about Sensabaugh, because you talk about somebody I don't get right. I don't play him, he goes ham. I play him, and he hardly does anything. So give me the lowdown on Sensabaugh. I sense that you have the same feelings about him. Price is kind of up, but when he gets it going, that guy can get hot and fill it up.
Yeah, he can put up points, but the problem is they don't play him minutes like they do Cody Williams. They're maxing him out at like 28, 29 minutes. So I don't know. He could always get there. I don't love the price point. But if you are stacking Minnesota like myself and you want to bring it back, I would first prefer Williams, but I think Sensabaugh is probably my second favorite option. He's got 45 plus fantasy point upside, but I'm with you, man. It's hard to know when those games are going to come. So,
well, right now I'm not playing him, so I'm going to gift the chat. Like I said, when I don't play him, he does well. So if you want to put him in your pool, have at it. But trying to see if I missed any. Cody Williams, we brought up. I really like him at 5,700. If Kawhi plays, love it. At 9,700, probably not going to have a ton of ownership. So hopefully we get something on that. And even Avdia. Indiana's a team you're going to want some exposure to here tonight as well. So whether it's a run back or not, his upside is absolutely through the roof.
We all have those guys like Sensabaugh that we never get right. We should start an RG community, spreadsheet, and then everyone says who they're not playing, and then we'll just build a lineup based off that.
There you go. Love it.
it's naturally going to be great. So, yeah, I agree with you on a lot of the plays here. I like Kawhi a lot if he's active. I don't think a lot of people are going to look his way because of that questionable tag. Hopefully we get that news fairly soon, but I think that's it's a 8
That's
p.m.
an 8 Eastern, so I doubt we get it, but
so
hopefully.
Luckily we won't be locking too many guys in Golden State, Boston, so we probably get it before the 7:30 games. Love Jaden McDaniels. I think he's right there with DiVincenzo as a way to get different on the Wolves. Probably think Jaden's a little safer at this point than Dante, but yeah, I think they're both solid. I talked about Cody Williams, Najee Marshall. I think that's it for me. Derek Jones Jr. has been playing well, so if Kawhi's out, maybe a little interest there, but not a high usage guy whatsoever. Okay, let's go to power forward. Who do you like over there?
We every time we do this show, I give you the same name, a guy that's always in my Jalen Johnson's just hard to not have exposure to, especially in a spot like this. We're talking a total at 238.5. I really like him here tonight, and that Hawks team playing so well. So he's a primary spend for me tonight, utilizing all that value. Julius Randle is underpriced. You take Edwards out, he should be 9,500, and we've seen it the last couple games. I think the only concern here is can Utah keep this close, like you said, but even in 3 quarters, I think Julius Randle can do enough damage to get the job done. So old slow-mo at 4K is going to have to play a lot more minutes. Reed is out as well for Minnesota. So I think he's probably your best value play. And I like Porzingis. We talked about him the other night, and a little revenge game here for him. And, it's going to have to play big minutes without Al Horford. So I think he's a little bit underpriced as well. Jason Tatum, we mentioned, easier to get in FanDuel. He's super cheap over there, but still in play here. We're getting some Scotty Barnes questions in the chat. I haven't landed on him. Thoughts on Scotty Barnes? I saw that name in there a couple times.
I mean, he should smash in this spot for sure. The prices come down a little bit, 8.4. He was in the mid 9s for a long time. So I don't mind him whatsoever. Probably my second favorite guy on Toronto behind Ingram. But again, I'm not playing any of them because I don't want to have to choose between them. And yeah, I agree with you. I like the Minnesota guys. Randall's a must for me. Kyle Anderson should play more minutes. He's always been a pretty good per minute producer. Plus you have a little revenge narrative. I think he's got that with half the teams in the NBA at this point. But I like Tatum. Probably not going to be on Avdia. He just hasn't been great since returning from injury, so I'll be underweight there. Not any other names that I'm really looking at here. I do like the Jalen Johnson call. And when you said there's a power forward that you always bring up, I thought for sure you were going to go Derek Queen, but the dude's not playing minutes. I don't know.
No, he's been letting me down, so he's out of the automatic in the pool. He was in there pretty much on a nightly basis, and yeah, they're just not utilizing him enough. So tough to click him right now.
Are they going to make the playoffs? They're not.
I don't know, man.
They're 10 games out of the play-in game. Why aren't they playing Derek Queen?
Don't know. I don't get it.
All right, let's go to center. You got Jokic up there. Gobert without Naz Reid. Who are some of your favorites?
I mean, if you can fit Jokic, the concern is, again, can Memphis keep this game close? They're 13.5-point underdogs, but he should absolutely dominate and decimate this interior. And I don't think he's going to be super highly owned tonight. I think people are making the choices between him, Jalen Johnson, Luka, how they want to allocate that salary. He could be a big-time edge here. Dud last time out for sure, but he's pretty much a lock for a floor of 50 in the ceiling. Is in the triple digits, let's be honest. So if Memphis can find a way, he could easily end up as the highest scorer by far on this slate. So trying to get some of him. You mentioned Gobert, a little revenge narrative, an interior that is not going to be able to slow him down, especially on the glass. So he's a great play. Really like Jakob Poeltl, who's back and playing well. Again, it's another interior in Chicago that he should absolutely be able to dominate. So that's the majority of the pool. I have some Donovan Clingan as well tonight, 8K. Again, FanDuel, a little bit better price on him, and we'll talk about that. But that's pretty much the pool for me. Jokic when I can get to him, If not, it's Gobert, it's Jakob Poeltl, it's Donovan Clingan.
Yeah, same names for me. Gobert, Jokic, Anderson, probably my favorites. Pirtle, probably next on that list. Got a question about Kevin Love. We don't have a projected play for 1 minute, but maybe the Jazz give him some run against his former team. Man, I missed the days where he was on the Wolves and getting 20 and 20 every night. I just
absolute beast. I mean, he's underrated from all the injuries. People don't really remember that guy was a monster.
Yeah, every night I'd play him and Blake Griffin together and then just punt everything else, and it worked. So all right, before we go to FanDuel, let me do a quick ad read real quick for Pick Labs. It's the newest RotoGrinders feature that lets you scan the best player props and pick 'em bets in seconds. Everything's broken down for you, from edges and win rates to value. It's a clean board showing which plays actually stand out across sports books and sites like Underdog and Prize Picks. When you see something you like, Pick Labs builds the slip and sends it straight to the book of your choice. You can find it at rotogrinders.com/picklabs. You'll be wondering why this wasn't a thing already. And I do have my golf picks up in my article. You can just click the little picture and it'll take you right to that bet slip if anybody wants to tell me for the Valspar Championship.
I'll be doing that right after the show, and I have a couple NBA bets as well that should be popping up on there that I really like for tonight. So make sure you guys check it out. It's a great tool.
Love it. All right, let's go to FanDuel. We got 18 minutes to lock, so got plenty of time for questions. Fire those up in the chat while we're talking on FanDuel, and then we'll get to them. Okay, who do you like over here? And we do have the Lakers and Houston game on this slate, so if there's any differences there, let us know.
Yeah, that game, not super appealing. I do like Thompson while we're here at the point guard position. He's probably my favorite out of that game, but there's not a lot that I'm going to be utilizing there. So FanDuel, Darius Garland, like you mentioned. Now, somebody in the chat said Kawhi is in. Have we confirmed that? I mean, if
yes.
Kawhi's in, okay. So Garland, still some appeal at this price, no doubt. But the same names, Highland, DeSanmu, all going to be highly owned. You'll get a discount on DiVincenzo. So those are your value plays. Mitchell, not going to be as highly owned over here if you wanted to go that route. A little bit easier on the ownership on FanDuel, but still like DeJounte Murray, under 8K. Really like Jamal Murray at 9,000. Cooper Flagg at 91. Drew Holiday again at 71. Just looking through my lineups here, make sure I don't miss anybody. That's pretty much the pool for me, man. Utilizing that Minnesota value and then mixing in McCollum, Murray, Amen Thompson, Cooper Flagg, Drew Holiday, and Ryan Nembhard. I think we mentioned him on DraftKings, but I'm gonna hop back on. I know it was disappointing the other night, but I do think he is a solid value play tonight.
Yeah, no Brandon Williams, much better matchup against Atlanta, so I'll probably hop back on too. Quick note: Porzingis is starting tonight. Does that change anything for you? He went nuts the other night. You brought him up. We also talked about Melton, who had a big game. So, any interest in Porzingis?
Lots of interest and a little narrative, revenge narrative for him as well. So lots to like about him. It seems like they're not totally like lifting his cap, but without Horford, he's got to play that much more. So I really like him a lot tonight.
Yeah, played 25 minutes the other night, put up 51 fantasy points. We haven't projected for 27 minutes. So definitely a guy that could get there. Not a good matchup by any means, but do think that's a little bit interesting for tournaments. Other point guards, I think you covered it pretty well. I do think Jamal Murray makes some sense as a pivot off of Jokic. I like Amen Thompson a little bit. He's been playing much better. He's had at least 43 fantasy points in 6 of his last 8 games. And you get access to that, late night game there. He's probably my favorite way to do that. But let's move over to shooting guard. Who do you like?
So a lot of carryover here. A lot of guys are point guard, shooting guard eligible. So try to bring up some names. Gary Payton. I wouldn't say we besmirched him the other night, but we preferred Melton, who played well. So I like both of those guys. Again, not the best matchup here with Boston tonight, but without Steph Curry, so much to go around for that team. So Really like both of those guys. I brought up CJ McCollum over on DraftKings. He's cheaper over here on FanDuel, so a little bit easier to fit him in here. And then again, it's a lot of carryover. Jamal Murray, DeJounte Murray, Amen Thompson, Cooper Flagg, Trey Jones, I believe we mentioned on the DraftKings section. I like him once again tonight. And then Desanmu, DiVincenzo, the Minnesota value as well. And then Toronto, RJ Barrett at 7,200, quickly at 7K.
All right. Yeah, I'm on the same guys. Anyone else? I mean, Marcus Smart is probably the only guy that we haven't talked about. 4,200. Should play minutes in the 30s. I don't think I'm going to go there, but he was popping a little bit earlier in the day. Yeah, I think he played Desanmu, DiVincenzo over here, and then you move on. Okay, let's go to small forward. Kyle Anderson, 3,700. Going to be super jockey. Do you like him?
I do. That number should be much higher, in my opinion. It should probably be at least 50%. So I know it sounds like a big number, but to me, he's one of the best values in a way to open up a lot of salary. So 3,700 is an absolutely great price for him. I think McDaniels is underpriced as well at 5,800. So really like that Minnesota value. Mid-range guys, I think Jeremy Grant's interesting at 6,000. Don't hate going back to Najee Marshall at 6,100. If you're living in that mid-range, we mentioned Kawhi over on DraftKings. Cheaper over there, but 10K still a decent price for him here on FanDuel. And Jason Tatum, 8,400 is too cheap. So can Golden State hang in this game? That's really my only question right now with Jason Tatum. So plenty of him tonight as well.
Do you have a favorite super expensive spend between Jalen Johnson and Jokic?
Johnson. It's the center options. You can save some money on Klingon, on Jakob Poeltl, on Rudy Gobert. Are those guys are they Jokic level producers? No. Can they keep the gap close enough where I can spend on Jalen Johnson? That's kind of how I'm approaching it.
I kind of think I agree. And then we kind of just hope Denver takes care of business and, Jokic doesn't have to play the fourth. That would be best case scenario. Yeah, I like Brandon Ingram, Kyle Anderson here. Jaden McDaniels, one of my favorite ways to get different with the Wolves stacks. We have him at 24% on FanDuel. Not contrarian by any means, but if you're playing 4 or 5 of them, I think he makes some sense as a way to get a little different. You mentioned Marshall, Flagg. I think they're both strong options. Okay, and then Jalen Johnson. Yeah, like spending up on him on both sides. Power forward, we got Julius Randle, Chalk, and then who else do you like here?
Yeah, I think Randall will have some ownership. Ingram, Tatum, probably near the top. Kyle Anderson, obviously, going to have some ownership. But then you pretty much get your pick of the litter. So Jalen Johnson, I'm going to continue to sing his praises. Really like spending up on him tonight. Jalen Williams with a Y from OKC, I think is a very interesting value play tonight at 5,200. I think he's got to play some extended minutes. Plus, you get the upside. If there's a blowout, maybe he gets even more run out there for OKC. So really like him. As far as off the radar, we mentioned Buzelis. I don't think he's going to have a ton of ownership in this one against Toronto. I like Drace Walker again at 6,800. So he's a guy that shouldn't see a ton of ownership either. And I don't mind going back to KD. I know it was ugly. We're running this game back, but nobody wants to play him. I don't mind going right back to it tonight.
Some injury notes. Looks like Colin Murray-Boyles is going to be out tonight for the Raptors. And then the Pacers had 9 guys listed as questionable. All of them are going to play except for Nembhard and Potter, who are still questionable. So we don't know about them. But Jackson, McConnell, Neesmith, Peter, Shepard, Slauson, and Zubats are all playing tonight. And then Holmgren is in as well for the Thunder. We're going to get to questions here in a minute. But we did get a question about Jalen Williams versus – I forgot who it was now. Porzingis. I kind of like Porzingis.
Williams certainly takes a hit. I was hoping Chet was out along with Hartenstein, and then that kind of, opens up the runway. I still think Jalen Williams is solid, but Porzingis in that one pretty easy for me.
Yep, I agree. Okay, let's move over to center, and then we'll have about 8 or 9 minutes to answer some questions.
All right, same cast of characters for me. So pretty tight pool. If I can get to Jokic, I'm certainly going to get there. If not, Gobert at 6,500, Jakob Poeltl at 58, Klingen at 77. That's pretty much. I'm not really going outside of that pool. I mean, there's some interesting names. Danny Wolf is getting more run, but I think those are the clear three guys. Spend on Jokic. Gobert and Klingen are kind of your mid-range, and Jakob Poeltl is way too cheap at 5,800. So that's the pool for me.
Yeah, that's my pool as well. I do like Jokic probably a little bit more on FanDuel because you're getting it at lower ownership, and I don't know, I like the value centers on DraftKings a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to head over to the live stream chat channel. We'll cover those questions first, and then we will hit up the YouTube questions. Okay, favorite GPP spend up and favorite sneaky value play.
Favorite spend, FanDuel. Favorite spend is Jalen Johnson. Sneaky value play. It's tough. Everyone on Minnesota's got so much ownership. I guess I don't have a sneaky value play. You got anybody?
I was going to say Jordan Miller.
I mean, is Cody Williams cheap enough? That I'll say Cody Williams is a guy I really like. He's not super cheap, but he would probably fit there.
Yeah, I like that. 5,700. We will count it. Okay, Slow-Mo or Robert Williams? This is kind of interesting. Williams has been playing well. Great matchup against Indiana. Slow-Mo probably, I don't know. Is Slow-Mo safer?
I don't know if he's safe. I don't know if he's safer, but I'll say in tournaments, I'll say Williams. You'll save. If I'm in cash games, it's Anderson.
Yeah, so my original build had Jokic, but I locked in Jalen instead, and then the optimizer gave me Robert Williams. So I currently have both Robert Williams and Kyle Anderson on DraftKings. We'll see if that changes in the next 6 or 7 minutes. Okay, DK GPP, Derek Jones or Herb Jones?
With Kawhi back, I'm going to go Herb Jones.
I am as well. Not really on either guy myself, though.
Same.
Okay, DK GPP, 4.5K in the utility spot. Who's your favorite?
I mean, I'm Highland. I'm assuming you already have. If it's not him, not really a lot down here. It will probably be Kyle Anderson, but Highland to answer the question.
Yeah, I'd go Highland, then Slow-Mo, and then Robert Williams is my favorite three in that price range. Okay, do you think Jalen Williams is still viable as a play?
I do. Obviously not as much upside, but probably going to come with not as much ownership tonight as well. And again, you have the added insulation of a blowout. Maybe you get some extra run in that scenario. So I do think he's still in play.
Yeah, I think so as well. Great matchup, rebounding matchup against Brooklyn. Okay, next up we have Jay Williams and Daniels or Porzingis and Marshall.
Porzingis, Marshall.
I agree. Thoughts on L. Miller for DraftKings GPPs? Kind of let us down the other night, but
yeah, I mean he's been playing some solid minutes, so you like that. I don't love the matchup at all. I mean, guys like Giddey, I don't mind. To me, he's matchup proof, so he's all right. But the price is kind of getting up there, so doesn't jump off the page for me.
Okay, DK single entry, play 3 or 4 Wolves. I currently have 5.
I think you can name your number. So what am I most comfortable with? 3. Do I have lineups with 4? Yes. I haven't gotten a 5 yet, but 3 is kind of my answer.
I've got Bones, Anderson, Dosunmu, Randall, and Gobert in my current lineup. Then I got Kawhi, Robert Williams, and one other guy. It's kind of what I'm rolling out tonight. Okay, let's head over to the YouTube chat. I'm sure there are a lot of questions in here. Okay, slow-mo, Robert Williams. Pretty much a toss-up for me. I think we kind of said we like both. Do you have a preference?
I'll say Williams. Again, I don't think he's going to come with as much ownership. Cash games, I would go Anderson.
Bones Highland or Desumu for FanDuel Cash?
I like Highland better tonight.
Pirtle and Brown, Pirtle and Brown or Jay Williams and Ace Bailey?
Which Brown?
I'm guessing Christian Brown.
Okay. What was it again? One more time.
Pirtle and Christian Brown or Jalen Williams and Ace Bailey?
First set.
Okay. Any love for slow-mo? Absolutely. We already said Porzingis over Jalen Williams. Ruthless Villain, which PGA players are going to drop out this week? I sure wish I knew because I've been rostering all the guys that have been withdrawn the last couple of weeks. People talking about Draymond. Do you have any interest there?
He would be on my list of don't play him that much, but again, like we talked about Porzingis, the minutes should be there for him. I just haven't landed on any, but he's viable tonight for sure. Not a great matchup, but he's fine.
Joseph Garnett saying he likes that you've been on the show more often recently.
Appreciate that.
Agree. Brooke Lopez and Derek Jones are not stopping Zion. Look, everyone's stopping Zion. I've been talking about this for weeks. The dude doesn't have a ceiling, so I'm perfectly happy not playing him. Do you like Zion more than I do?
No, we talked about it the other night. I mean, I tend to like him a little bit more than you. Your disdain is so low that my level is just slightly above that. So you nailed it. It just seems like he gets to 35-ish fantasy points and then take the night off. So and the matchup's not great. So I'm staying away tonight.
I mean, he might score 28 points, but he's going to get you 38 fantasy points. So
right.
I need a little bit more. Myself.
What a waste, man. That guy, when he first came on the scene, was like, man, this guy's legit. And who knows? They're calling him lazy in the chat. I mean, can't disagree. But I think the ceiling is what we worry about. So I'm staying away.
Yeah. FanDuel GPP, Randall or Ingram?
Randall, I worry a little bit about the blowout. So if you are worried about that, it's pretty close. But Ingram's one of those guys too. I like him, but it's not a lot of consistency to his game. Randall without Edwards, we've seen, 2 massive games in a row for him. I'll say Randall.
Same. FanDuel single entry GPP, Najee Marshall or PJ Washington?
I will go Najee.
I'm going to go Najee as well. Another Najee question, Najee Marshall or Jaden McDaniels? I think I prefer McDaniels.
I do as well. I think he plays well tonight.
Okay, FanDuel Cash, Garland, Ingram, and Quickly, or McCollum, Barrett, and Tatum?
I will go McCollum, Barrett, Tatum.
I think I agree there. Getting asked for my golf pick of the week. Phil and Jordan Spieth. We'll see how that goes.
That guy's still alive?
He's been bad for years, but picking it up a little bit, so maybe he can get something going. Okay, Garland or Flag?
Flag.
I agree, and we are just about to line up lock, and we answered all the questions, so pretty good timing there. Hope everyone has a great NBA slate. Hope everyone enjoys the March Madness tomorrow. Make sure to get your brackets in. And yeah, for myself, for Beer, any final thoughts?
No, chat was great. As always, we appreciate you guys' support. Hit that thumbs up button, supporting all the shows. Good luck tonight. March Madness. Can't wait to watch some games. And always good hanging out with you, talking some hoops, man.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. We'll catch you back here next time. Good luck.